We have the moon in Leo today, which is a nice, friendly, flirty, romantic influence. We prize interaction, expressiveness, action, interaction under a Leo moon. This is going to exacerbate the semi square that is going on between Mars and Jupiter, which has us reaching farther, running faster, wanting more. It increases energy, increases appetite, it increases the lust for more. Um, to add to what we already have, it can be an excessive force. And it does add to a feeling of optimism, increase, securing what it is that we want. So it's a good day in terms of feeling like we can rebound, regain, reestablish, but you have to be careful because that's where we go wrong with difficult aspects to Jupiter. And with Mars to Jupiter, Sun to Jupiter especially, we have to be doubly careful because we can have unjustified energy or optimism that can lead to hubris or going off a cliff and not understanding that something is approaching. So it depends on how you handle it because if you are measured enough, you get the best stuff out of hard aspects to Jupiter, the best. But if you're not measured, if you don't understand that there are rules or limits or that tomorrow is another day, and if you are taking liberties, so the thing is we stretch our moral mm, boundaries with Jupiter stuff, and sometimes we can get away with it because things can snap back without those boundaries can snap back without too much consequence, and sometimes it could even be funny. It can lead to a pretty good story, so we didn't get into too much trouble. But there are those other times that our chickens will come home to roost, and you have to have enough discernment to know the difference, what is ground that, we can sufficiently cover without getting into too much trouble, and when are we leaping too far, expecting too much, or just going a little bit crazy, and we can expect some kind of backlash or consequence to that. We don't see it in the moment when we are in those Mars Jupiter throes of passionate gain. We see it after. So the lesson in today is tomorrow is another day. And the gains of today can be the losses of tomorrow. So be very careful about what you assume is the case and what you're betting on. Make sure it's justified. We still have that energy of Venus and Neptune conjunct, which does have us seeing the best in everything. This can be a beautiful influence. It can open up our hearts, our minds, our intuition, our imagination to more spiritual connection, more um, transcendent experiences. But be careful because this is the nature of Neptune. Neptune and Jupiter both are very interesting. They're naturally square to each other, but they have so much in common in terms of potential outcomes, negative outcomes. Jupiter used to rule Pisces. I mean, he's got a lot to say about that particular way of being. So, Venus Neptune together. Um, We have to be careful that what we're seeing and being absorbed in is actually real. It has substance because it can feel so amazing and beautiful and so good at the time to be wrapped up in that Neptunian dream. But we're always spit out if it isn't good for us. So we have the sugar high that's happening right now with Venus and Neptune, and then couple that with this semi-square between Mars and Jupiter. So there's some assumptions that it's bigger, better, more beautiful, fixed, all that we want. Again, tomorrow is another day. So there may be some beautiful things that we really can turn our attention to. Our time, our energy, our focus, and those things can grow. But we also are in danger if we aren't looking carefully or using our discernment or understanding that tomorrow is another day. We are in danger of planting magic beans that we assume are going to grow up into what we want it to be. But it's best to plant our seeds into a bed of soil that is more indicative of a reality rather than magical thinking. The reality of connection to source, not a connection to illusion, but to actual source, the real, our own real nature.